Welcome to the Job Description Library eBites. This online learning is the fourth in a series of eBites, and it will show you how to revise an existing job description. This eBite will cover starting an approval workflow, editing the current job description, and using key features. Let's get started. In the previous eBites, we learned how to start an approval workflow and edit a job description you created. This eBite will focus on editing an already existing job description in the library. Please note, revising an existing job description should only occur if you would be making changes to the base description. If you need to make changes for recruitment purposes, you will need to do so within the Taleo recruiting system. Let's begin on the Job Description Library homepage. Under Tasks and Activities, you will see the link to revise an existing job description. Clicking here will allow us to begin the workflow process. This is where we will add a job description to start the approval workflow. Click on Add, and we can see the results default to any recently viewed job descriptions. In this case, it's showing my newly created, recently viewed, and recently edited job descriptions. This is useful if you know you'll primarily be working with the same job descriptions each time you use the job description library. If you want to edit a job description that does not appear in the default view, you can always use the search function to filter through the library. While you're searching, you may notice a specific job description isn't appearing in the results. This is because only certain job descriptions are editable. If you have any questions about revising a job description not on the list, contact HR Compensation for more information. However, the buyer associate does appear in our search results, and we need to make changes to the job description because some of the requirements have recently changed. The quickest way to find the job description is to use the free text search. Just type buyer associate into the field and click search. The job description will appear in the results, and you can then check the box next to the job description and click on Select Job Descriptions and Close Form. The job description for the buyer associate is now displayed so that we can select the UT Health workflow. This next process is identical to the one you learned in the Starting an Approval Workflow eBite, so I'll be quick. As the direct manager, my name appears next to the first level approver. I'll go ahead and add my second level approver, and of course HR Compensation is always going to be the final step in the approval workflow. Everything looks complete in this dialog box, so I'm going to click Start Workflow. The revision has been started for the buyer associate position. Since I want to start editing this job description immediately, I'll click on the Edit icon from here instead of from My Tasks. This window should look very familiar because it is identical to the one we navigated in the Editing a Job Description under Review eBite. However, you will see that all the fields are pre-populated with the current job description information. Anything you cannot edit will be grayed out. I'll step through each tab, making any changes I think are necessary. For this example, I want to change the experience requirements from 1 year to 0 to 1 year. Don't forget, you can't make changes to any sections until you open the Edit toolbar by clicking on the Edit icon. I also want to make a change to the essential functions for this position. You can always edit an existing row, but if you want to delete, add, or move a row, simply right-click on the row and select the appropriate action. I will go ahead and delete this row. I don't think I'll need to make any edits to the job requirements, but I'll take a look just in case. Since this is an existing job description, all of the fields have been imported. No changes here. At this point, I encourage you to explore the various options you have on the menu bar. For example, you can compare the edited job description to the base description by clicking on Compare to Base. This view will show you the changes you have made via the Merge Changes view or the side-by-side view. From here, you can export both views to a Word document if you need to share the revised job description with someone else. If you have documentation to support the changes you'd like to make to the base job description, it would be a good idea to attach them. We've gone through some of the other menu bar options in previous eBites, so I'll go ahead and run spell check before finishing with this job description. I'm ready to approve this step so that the job description can move to the second level approver in the workflow. Click on Approve Step, check the box, and add comments if needed. I'll then click Approve Step again. The confirmation dialog box appears, so I know I have been successful. Don't forget, you can always go to My Tasks to review the current status of your job descriptions. The revised job description now shows a blue outline around the second step in the workflow, which indicates we have completed our part. Scroll horizontally to view additional details about the workflow process, or click on Workflow Details. Please note, you can still add or edit comments even though you have approved the job description. At this point, your revised job description is ready to be reviewed and approved by your second level approver. In the event you have already approved your step in the workflow and need to make additional changes, you can restart the approval workflow by opening the Workflow Details tab. Click on the Workflow Details button and then click on Restart. This will reset the approval workflow and allow you to make further edits. If you need to cancel an approval workflow because you no longer need to edit a job description, you can contact HR Compensation to cancel the workflow for you. Nicely done! You've completed the Revising an Existing Job Description eBite. Remember, if you have any compensation questions, email hrcompensation@uthscsa.edu. If you have any issues with the system, email hris@uthscsa.edu.